One question that I get asked all the time from everybody I meet is that was the birth of the billboard strategy. There are some of you who are wondering, should I raise my family there? What are the watch outs? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Punta Cana Podcast. My name is Cheryl Henderson, your guide to Punta Cana living, and I'm very excited to be presenting this new project of mine, the Punta Cana Podcast, which I'm filming from my penthouse in Maple Beach, a community that I built with my husband that we have been delivering of 77 condos, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. One question that I get asked all the time from everybody I meet is, where are you from? That has to be my number one question. Well, I'm American, 100% American. I am an American girl. It just so happens that I'm an Army brat. So I grew up moving all over the world. I've lived in the United States. I've lived in South Korea. I've lived in Germany. So I believe that's part of the reason I ended up in Punta Cana. You have dreamed of the perfect Caribbean beach lifestyle. With Boardwalk Developments, we have the blueprint for you in this tropical paradise. Celebrate incredible returns when you elevate your investment portfolio with the hottest real estate in Punta Cana. Invest wisely, live lavishly. We'll show you how. Contact Boardwalk Developments, Punta Cana. Before I became known as the billboard lady, I was working in corporate America, and I worked for a Procter & Gamble company in Cincinnati, Ohio, in their technology department. And it was really, really fun for me because I do have a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering from Washington University in St. Louis. I got recruited to go to Cincinnati to work for Procter & Gamble. Was enjoying that experience. I was on the fast track there. However, my husband was interested in us starting a business together. He wanted to be a general contractor and renovate properties. So I got my real estate license to work with him and look for properties, foreclosed properties. So this was back in 2000 when I actually started in real estate. So we're rounding, 24 years now in the real estate business. I have actually evolved into development because that takes me back to my roots as an engineer and working on projects, designing projects and developing projects like this one here in Maple Beach and some of the other projects that we are developing as a part of Boardwalk Developments. So I'll talk a little bit about my family. I have my oldest son, and then I actually have 2 other children, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old with my husband, who is my partner in the business. And it's really been wonderful to see my family and to have a family grow. It's been a bonus to actually raise children in Punta Cana, and you will have to subscribe because there will be a future episode where Jalen will be featured talking about his experience growing up in Punta Cana. He is an American, however, culturally, he's kind of Dominican, and we can talk about pluses and minuses because maybe there are some of you who are wondering, should I raise my family there? What are the watch outs? And we will absolutely give you that information in future episodes. I didn't speak any Spanish when I moved here, but I came here equipped with Donde Está El Baño and with the confidence to know that I could learn. For me, it was exciting to give my son an international experience, the opportunity to learn a new language, and all of the positive aspects that could come from that I had experienced myself. What I did was I would go out during the day. Whatever I heard repeatedly, I would write down and learn those words. So this is me listening and learning. And whatever I wanted to say, I would study so then I could start saying that. And little by little, I built my portfolio of vocabulary to learn Spanish, which is something that anybody can do. All you have to do is open your mind and open your mouth, and you will eventually learn Spanish. A little history. Punta Cana is actually a brand. It was a group that came together and bought the land where they put the airport because they were building a community and the Club Med Hotel something like 40 years ago. So Punta Cana is actually a very, very young town. And because the airport is named Punta Cana, it kind of stuck. When I left the resort on my first trip, I actually could not find anybody who spoke English well enough to help me buy property. It was a real challenge back in those days. And I saw the opportunity for me to become the guide, the go-to person to help people to buy properties here. This was my original vision back in 2006. 18 plus years ago. I moved to Punta Cana. I decided to join the RE/MAX that actually was here in town as an agent and had to figure out how am I gonna let people know that I'm here. This was back before the internet was even really big. So I went on and learned how to create a little website, but I knew that there were people coming to the hotels. So I decided to invest in billboards, to put them on the streets so that as people left the airports to go to the hotels, the Americans, they could see my billboard and know that they had the opportunity to buy property and give me a call. So that was the birth of the billboard strategy. Back in the day, people would come to me and they would ask me if I was a politician because only the politicians had billboards in the street. And I would tell them, no, I'm in real estate. Today, if you drive the streets of Punta Cana, you will see nothing but billboards and pictures of realtors. That is a part of my legacy here. I have the attitude of when things go down, there's always something that will go up. I believe that energy does not disappear. It just changes form. I've always felt that way. So when the economic crisis came back in 2008 and basically the global economy stopped, when everybody left town, I actually called RE/MAX and said, listen, I would like to own a brokerage. And they told me, great. So in 2010 was actually when I signed to own my own real estate brokerage. It was the only franchise real estate company in all of Punta Cana, all the way to Santo Domingo, until we decided to take the opportunity to go for Keller Williams, which happened during the pandemic. In my career, I can absolutely confirm that the biggest moves that I have made to grow in my career and level up have been when maybe things look bad on the outside. You can accomplish all of your goals here in Punta Cana as I have done. It has been better for me being here. For example, being pregnant and having my children, I'm able to have help in my home. Whereas in the States, it's not so easy. So many different reasons. Let's say you want to invest and you want to buy a property. Now in the States, it's very limited what you can do, how many you can buy, where you can have Airbnbs, how you can make money. Here, there are no limits because Punta Cana has grown up as a tourist town. This town is not going to shut down Airbnbs or investors who want to make money off of short-term investments, medium-term investments, or long-term. This is a part of the reason why I'm here, and I'm actually looking to expand my platform is to say, guess what? As things are going crazy at home, look and find a place where things are on the up and up and are growing and are better. After a few years of watching a piece of land that was directly across the street from us, I started daydreaming about the possibility to buy that land and to develop a project, and felt very confident about the decision because I had been doing it for years. None of Cortecito was here when I first moved here, and now the area is really, really full and thriving. And many of these projects I actually helped to design, and that land is now Maple Beach, where we are here today. And we have our development company that is called Boardwalk Developments, and now we have 5 projects that we're very proud of. We have condos, we have villas, which are single family houses, we have land, we have commercial. We really have a little bit of everything and are always welcoming investors to come in and to be a part of our network, to invest with us and make money. Let me just tell you a little something. Our investors in Maple Beach, our original investors, are celebrating up to 50% return on investment from their original price to the actual price of what they could sell their property for today. I've done very well with my investments. I have a new campaign that is called Riches, how to get rich, investing in, buying, and doing real estate here in Punta Cana. Because I tell you something, when I got here, I was not enjoying the economic situation that I am enjoying today. And it has everything to do about real estate and Punta Cana. So definitely connect to that campaign if you'd like to learn more about how I've done it and what I've done and what I will continue to do with this podcast and other promotions and other projects that we will launch.
If you want to get rich in real estate, download my PDF.
One of the things that we'll do as a part of the podcast is we're receiving questions from our fans and followers through our Facebook group and other social media. So it's very impromptu. I am going to go into the box and see what questions there are for me and see how I do. The Dominican Republic is beautiful, but how safe is it to live and invest there? To me, that's like two questions: to live and invest, two different things. But safety, I would say that it is on a scale of 1 to 10 to live here and invest here, 10 and 10, comparatively speaking. So let me start with living here. I moved here alone with a 4-year-old, and I have always felt safe here. My son grew up running through the golf course because we moved to the golf course because there was nothing else available at the time. And I really loved that he had other friends that eventually came, and there's security throughout the community. I could find the guy that was near my house and say, "Where are the kids?" And they get on the walkie-talkie. There were always eyes on him, and we knew the people. And Dominican people are very kind people, so there's no reason to feel unsafe. And it's interesting because I have people who come and visit and they're like, "You let your kid, walk?" And I'm like, yeah, it's not a problem. And they feel very unsafe. And I know that this is another thing that's really going on in the States, because when I go to the States, my phone starts blowing up with Amber Alerts. And it helps me to understand even more why Punta Cana is a great place to be, because kids are not getting kidnapped in this town. Kids are not shooting up schools. They don't live with that kind of stress. I believe that the culture in this country is stronger than any one individual. So if you come here, you're either gonna get more relaxed over time, or you may decide that you want to stay uptight and then you leave. But I love the culture here. I feel good about living here. I feel very safe. And regarding safety for investment, this has been my focus for the past 18 plus years. This was my vision when I moved here, was to learn and help people to make safe investments here. And I'm very conservative about the investments that I recommend to my investors, because I know that you trust me as a guide to help you to make a safe investment. If you have a good lawyer, you will be fine. I know that people have talked about the idea of titles and multiple titles being bought. Generally, that is if you're buying land. But if you're looking to buy a condo, a house, or a property, in general, you're not going to have multiple people owning that property, because everything is cleared through the institutions before they even get permitted to build condos, villas, and those types of things in the communities. So definitely get your lawyer, Have your legal advisor to give you all of the information you need to answer your questions and to protect you. And we will be having lawyers on some of our episodes in the future, so be sure to like, follow, subscribe. Let us know who you would like to see or what kind of content you would like to see on the podcast, so then we can get those professionals to come in, answer questions, and go deeper into those kind of subjects.